Have you ever stood under the vast expanse of the night sky and wondered about its deeper significance? Such a moment of introspection can lead us to ponder upon the sublime wisdom contained within the sacred text of the Quran. Tonight we turn our attention to a special chapter from this divine book, Surah Al-Layl. Surah Al-Layl, the night, is the 92nd chapter of the Quran, revealed in the city of Mecca. Its name, Al-Layl, which translates to the night, is derived from the very first verse of the surah itself. This is a surah that invites us to reflect upon the contrasting elements of light and darkness, providing us with a symbolic representation of the moral choices we face in our lives. The theme of contrast is a central element in Surah Al-Layl. It draws upon the stark differences between day and night and between man's actions and their subsequent outcomes. It's a reminder that just as day follows night, every action has a consequence, every cause and effect. This surah encourages us to ponder upon these contrasts and to use this understanding to guide our actions and decisions. Just as the night sky is illuminated by countless stars, so too is Surah Al-Layl filled with countless lessons. It teaches us about the importance of generosity, about the virtues of righteousness, and the consequences of our actions. It reminds us that our deeds, whether good or bad, do not go unnoticed. They are recorded and will be accounted for. Surah Al-Layl, with its profound wisdom, serves as a guide for us, illuminating our path just like the night sky. It highlights the importance of moral choices, of how our actions can lead to either light or darkness. It reminds us that just as the night gives way to the day, so too does every action have a reaction, every choice a consequence. As we delve deeper into Surah Al-Layl, we'll uncover its profound lessons. It's a journey of discovery, of understanding, and of enlightenment. So let's embark on this journey together, under the vast expanse of the night sky, guided by the illuminating wisdom of Surah Al-Layl. The surah begins with a powerful imagery, setting the tone for the verses to follow. Let's delve into Surah Al-Layl, the surah of the night, a chapter from the Quran that beautifully encapsulates the essence of night and day, good and evil, and the choices that we as humans make. The surah opens with an evocative illustration of the night as it envelops everything in its dark veil, and the day as it breaks, bringing light and clarity. This isn't just a description of the day's transition into night and vice versa. It's a profound metaphor for the eternal dichotomy between good and evil, light and darkness, knowledge and ignorance. As we move forward, the surah brings into focus the human soul, each unique, each making its own choices. It's a reflection on the freedom of choice granted to us and how our choices shape our destiny. The verses emphasize that those who give selflessly and fear the displeasure of their Creator, they are the ones who will find ease and tranquility. Meanwhile, those who are miserly, who prioritize their desires over moral obligations, will find themselves in hardship. This isn't just about material wealth or possessions. It's about the wealth of the soul, the richness of character. The surah encourages us to be generous, not just with our wealth, but with our time, our knowledge, our kindness, to fear not the lack of worldly possessions, but the lack of righteousness and goodness. The surah then proceeds to explain that the results of our actions, whether good or bad, will become clear to us. There's a promise of a just reward, a fair recompense for our deeds. Those who strive for goodness, their efforts will not go unnoticed. Similarly, those who choose the path of evil, their actions will not go unpunished. In its closing verses, the surah reminds us of our ultimate return to the Creator. It's a powerful reminder of the fleeting nature of this world and the permanence of the hereafter. It nudges us to ponder, to reflect on our actions, our choices, and their consequences. The surah, in its poetic language and profound wisdom, presents a clear picture of the moral landscape we navigate. It's a compass guiding us towards righteousness, reminding us of the transient nature of worldly possessions and the eternal value of good deeds. The surah, in its brevity, encapsulates profound truths about human nature and the eternal struggle between good and evil. The verses of Surah Al-Layl are not just words, but a mirror reflecting our actions, our choices, and their consequences. It's a guiding light in the darkness, a beacon guiding us towards righteousness and away from evil. It's a reminder that the choices we make today will shape our tomorrow. And so, as the night gives way to the day, we are reminded that darkness is always followed by light, that after hardship comes ease, and that every choice we make, every action we take, has a consequence. And in this cycle of night and day, of good and evil, we find the essence of Surah Al-Layl. Now that we have journeyed through the verses of Surah Al-Layl, what are the key lessons that we can draw from it? Surah Al-Layl, or the night, is a beautiful tapestry of divine wisdom that weaves together profound themes of contrast, choice, and consequence. It's like a lantern in the dark, casting light on the path to righteousness and moral living. One of the most striking elements of Surah Al-Layl is the vivid contrast it paints between light and darkness, a metaphor that extends to the moral dichotomy of good and evil. This surah urges us to seek the light of virtue, even when shrouded by the darkness of vice. It's a reminder that life isn't just black and white, but a spectrum of gray, where our actions determine the shade we color our souls with. Delving deeper, we encounter the theme of human choice. Just as the night gives way to the day, we too have the power to choose between different paths in our lives. We have the liberty to make decisions, but with this freedom comes responsibility. The surah guides us, emphasizing the importance of making choices grounded in ethics and morality. It's a call to action, to choose the path of righteousness, to be generous, to fear none but the Almighty. And then there's the theme of consequence. Every action, every choice we make has a ripple effect, consequences that shape our lives and the world around us. The surah teaches us that those who choose to do good and fear the Almighty will be rewarded, while those who choose otherwise will face the outcome of their actions. It's a universal principle, a law of life, that whatever we sow, so shall we reap. Moreover, Surah Al-Layl is not just about personal morality, but also about social ethics. It teaches us the importance of generosity, of sharing our wealth with those less fortunate. It emphasizes the significance of compassion and empathy in our interactions with others. It's a call for social justice, a reminder that our moral obligations extend beyond ourselves to the broader community. The surah also underscores the importance of humility and gratitude. It reminds us to be humble in our successes, to remember that everything we have is a blessing from the Almighty. It's a call to be grateful, to appreciate the gifts we've been given, and to use them in service of others. Clearly, the surah is a beacon of guidance, illuminating the path of righteousness amidst the shadows of life's challenges. As we step back from the intricacies of Surah Al-Layl, how does it resonate with our own lives today? This question invites us to delve into a contemplative space where we can stitch together the threads of wisdom that Surah Al-Layl has to offer. The surah, in its divine wisdom, nudges us towards understanding the weight of our moral choices. It teaches us that every action, every decision, and every path we tread on has consequences. It reminds us of the interconnectedness of our actions and their outcomes, a principle that is as relevant today as it was in the times of its revelation. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves standing at the crossroads of ethical decisions. It could be about being honest in a situation where deception seems easier, or choosing kindness when indifference feels more convenient. In these moments, the teachings of Surah Al-Layl can serve as a guiding light. They help us understand that the path of righteousness, though sometimes challenging, is ultimately the one that leads to peace and fulfillment. Moreover, Surah Al-Layl teaches us about the importance of humility and generosity. It encourages us to in kindness, to share our blessings, and to do so without seeking recognition or rewards. This message resonates strongly in our contemporary society, where individualism often overshadows the spirit of communal well-being. The surah also urges us to strive for personal growth and self-improvement. It reminds us that the journey towards becoming better individuals is ongoing, and that every night brings with it a new opportunity for introspection and growth. What's remarkable about Surah Al-Layl is that its teachings are timeless. They transcend geographical boundaries and historical epochs, reaching out to each one of us in the here and now. They invite us to reflect, to question, and to strive for a life of virtue and righteousness. So as we navigate through our lives, let's carry the teachings of Surah Al-Layl in our hearts. Let's allow its wisdom to guide our actions, to shape our decisions, and to inspire us towards becoming better versions of ourselves. Indeed, Surah Al-Layl is more than just a chapter in the Holy Quran. It is a roadmap for life, a compass guiding us towards ethical living and moral clarity. In the silence of the night, the messages of Surah Al-Layl echo, nudging us towards introspection and self-improvement. As we journey through the voyage of life, let's keep these messages alive, reflecting on them, learning from them, and allowing them to illuminate our path.